To talk more about this story and other double standards, we're pleased to be joined via telephone by the former Lieutenant Governor of New York, Betsy McCaughey, and via Skype from New York City, Pamela Geller. Pamela is the president of the American Freedom Defense Initiative, also the founder and publisher of AtlasShrugs.com, where she wrote some nice things about me once upon a time, and she joins us this evening from New York City. Ladies, to you both, thanks for your time on Newsmax Prime. And Pam, something I talked about at the top of this program, I understand you have filed suit against Facebook because you say you were frequently subjected to censorship by that social website because of your views, which Facebook deems to be anti-Muslim. Tell us more about that.
Well, firstly, this is not just our lawsuit. We're suing on behalf of all freedom-loving peoples. The problem, and the suit is right now against Loretta Lynch, is that these social media companies like Facebook and Twitter enjoy extraordinary immunity under Section 230. And we are suing because we believe it is unconstitutional and it is against our First Amendment rights. I must tell you, I receive emails from readers and members of my Facebook pages all the time asking for help after having been blocked for posting a story or a comment that might offend Muslims. Facebook is notoriously one-sided, and they've been that way for years. Anyone who opposes jihad terror, not anti-Muslim, I work because I love people. I work because I love freedom. I'm opposed to the ideology that inspires this bloody holy war. I had started a page called Islamic Jew Hatred. It's in the Quran, and I had upwards of 10 to 15,000 members. It was only maybe 3 months old, and Facebook took it down because of a picture that my colleague.
But just to be clear, Pamela, you're still able to post on Facebook right now, correct?
Well, they did block me. They blocked me. They banned me in the wake, maybe 3 or 4 hours after the Orlando shooting, when I had named the shooter and things he had said. So
you are going to court to file suit. We appreciate the detail, but let me get to Betsy for a second. Betsy, we know that Mark Zuckerberg says one thing and does another. He's for open borders, yet he buys up all the land around his place to effectively fence it out. Do you think the lawsuit filed by Pam will find success against Facebook?
Well, I can't predict its success, but I can say it raises very important issues, and it goes way beyond Zuckerberg, because our entire nation now is a victim of a kind of political correctness that offers tremendous indulgence to pro-Muslim views, but strict intolerance for Christian views and the views of others. It's a cultural war against traditional values. Am I correct, Pamela?
She's absolutely correct. And she speaks to the bigger picture. This is all of a piece we are seeing across the board, whether it's in the universities, whether it's in the media. There is an adherence to the Sharia. This is Sharia compliance. You cannot offend, you cannot criticize, and you cannot insult Islam. Now, the media does not. They comply with the Sharia.
And thankfully, we're not the media, we're Newsmax, calling out the double standard and having you on to explain your side of the story. Let me get to another story that we mentioned earlier, Betsy, and that is the whole thing with Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg politicizing, saying things about Donald Trump to the New York Times. The code of conduct.
This is so shocking that even the extreme left-wing New York Times has chastised her for her behavior.
And the code of conduct of United States judges, Canon 5, a judge should refrain from political activity. If she was going to take the canon seriously, Betsy, shouldn't she resign?
Well, certainly at this point there should be a lot of pressure on her, and I'll tell you why. Because this highest court repeatedly is called on to consider cases in which the powers of the president are determined, and she certainly will not be able to do so when Donald Trump is president.
Let me ask you, Pamela, when push comes to shove, Ruth Bader Ginsburg isn't going anywhere, is she?
Of course not. Just like Hillary Clinton is not going anywhere. There is a separate standard for the left. There is power without accountability. I mean, her recklessness is merely a reflection of how the left operates. They have nothing to worry about. I mean, here we hear constantly about, Donald Trump's lawsuit, Donald Trump University. Read Clinton Cash. This woman is a criminal. I mean, it's extraordinary. The decades of corruption and criminality all the way back to Whitewater. And we're talking about Donald Trump University? I mean,
I'm wondering actually about Ruth Bader Ginsburg's fitness to continue to serve, whether in fact these very reckless comments are an indication that she is no longer of sound mind.
And of course, that's what Trump said today in his tweet. Her mind is shot. Now, let me talk to you using that word and segueing a shot at the Veep stakes. We now understand, word has just come out, Donald Trump will announce his running mate on Friday. Here is what he said to Fox News earlier today.
I'm narrowing it down. I mean, I'm at 3, potentially 4, but in my own mind, I probably am thinking about 2.
All right, those two. Some people are saying tonight it's Chris Christie or Mike Pence. I'm still a Newt guy.
Me too.
Betsy, you're with Newt. Pam?
I'm a strong supporter of Newt Gingrich. I think he brings tremendous assets to the table, but they're all good picks.
What about you, Pam? Very quickly.
They're all good picks. Listen, my pick would have been Ted Cruz. He's not on the table, sadly. I think that Donald Trump needs to pick the candidate who will bring the most votes to the table. This is what the man must do right now. He's up against an enormous machine, this leftist Islamic machine, and they're coming at him with every club, with every bullet, with every weapon that they have, and he's going to need a fighter, and he knows that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm going to have to end it right there. Pamela Geller via Skype from New York City. Betsy McCaughey tonight on the phone. Ladies, to you both, our thanks. Now, a reminder that we will be taking your calls a little bit later in this program at 1-877-Newsmax. Up next, brinksmanship in the Republican Party. Nancy Brinker here to talk about the establishment's point of view, the grassroots, and what may happen this November. Stay with us.